Welcome back. You're still watching The Globe. Now, Tanzania will, over the next days, conduct a population census. The Tanzanian government says that the exercise is vital for the country's national plans. Tuesday has been declared a national holiday to allow citizens to take part in the exercise fully. Tanzania conducts a census every 10 years. This year is going to be the 6th since independence from Britain. In 2012, census results indicated that there were close to 44 million people in Tanzania's mainland and over 1 million in Tanzania, Zanzibar. UN data estimates that Tanzania's 2020 population to be around 60 million. President Samia Hassan Suluhu is among the first to be counted. Now, Adv Onesmo Olengurumwa is a regular commentator on human rights research, consultancy and human rights education, and he joins us now via Zoom from Zanzibar in Tanzania. Thanks very much indeed for joining us and welcome to the program.
Thank you. How is South Africa there?
We are fine. We are doing very well. Thanks so much. I just wonder, this census, each one is important, but I guess given the challenges economically that most of our countries are facing, having an understanding of the population must be critically important at this time.
Yes, of course. Compared to previous years, we see the population is highly sensitized, and we see a lot of people coming out and participating throughout the process. Given we are also in the era of digital era and social media, campaigns have been made effectively by government institutions, media, and civil society organizations.
How accurate have these censuses been in the past?
Well, we cannot really measure, given the fact that these censuses are always done after the range of 10 years. Now, the two previous censuses were done in 2022 and 2002 and 2012 and now 2022. So that range of 10 years, obviously, you have to experience some modern developments. For instance, this year censuses are done using digital equipment such as iPads and other computers, portable devices. So with the modern developments in the era of technology, I feel like every census, as we move forward, we see that we are gaining some effectiveness in terms of reaching people, and data that are collected effectively. Though the today's census is still, we hear from different parts of the country that people are saying the numerators, the clerks who are responsible for data collections have not managed to reach in every household. That's why the extension have been given this process to last within 7 days.
All right, and most people are cooperating with the process.
Obviously, people are quite cooperative, and except in some areas, given the fact that the country is quite large and we have some remote areas, we have those people who are still doing a lot of activities in an official sort of householding settings. And maybe those are the areas that we are not sure whether these people will be able to be reached by this exercise, but we've also seen some effort by the government in some areas to ensure that even those people who are not having official household will be reached by this exercise. For example, those who are doing nomadic, those who are in towns without permanent residentials, travelers, and other people. Of course, the idea of the census, the plan of the government is to reach every person in this country throughout this process.
Information is only useful if it's used, and I wonder from past censuses whether government uses this information to plan better, or has there been a disconnect between getting the numbers and then translating it into usable action?
Obviously, if you look at the objectives of the census, we've been conducting this census now, this is the sixth one since 1967. And obviously, all the times, objectives underlining this process has been to support various development projects. For example, the previous census was building up on various development programs like 2025 programs. Development programs on the part of Zanzibar. We have also national development programs on the part of Zanzibar. We are also, the data that are collected throughout this process are also supporting in doing evaluations and various projects, for example, SDGs, goals, and the other related programs, both economically and socially. So we feel like, and even as human rights organizations, we value data, we value statistics when it comes to measuring, for example, if data are well segregated in terms of looking at people with disabilities, looking at how many people having a decent housing, and other related statistics that are quite also very important even to human rights organizations when it comes to evaluating the level of respect and protection of human rights within the country.
Talking about rights, will this census measure things like education levels and also how many young girls and women are educated and employed in the economic system?
Obviously, look at the number of questions. We have this census has about 100 questions. The questions that have been asked throughout the process as it has started today are actually aiming at collecting data and at various social settings. For example, knowing how many people are properly employed, knowing how economic activities that are done by the people of Tanzania and Zanzibar. Also trying to get the exact number, how many people are in marriage, also trying to get how many number of people are engaging in various economic activities. The data also that are going to be collected will also inform the government about households, how many households. I remember the previous census, Tanzania had about 9 million households, So it tells you that probably as we move forward, people are also getting into decent housing, because this is also one of the development of this kind of census that at least at this time we are going much far and looking at issues of housing. It's something that I will really say that with this census, the way it was structured, and even the question, the way it was structured, if all these data will be well collected, I think every organization, every entity in the country, being government organizations or even non-government organization, will be able to use the findings of this data to program some of their plans. For example, those people who are working with people with disability, we're expecting at this time the findings will also be able to inform the public's the population of people with disability in the country. Will be able also to know how many people are engaging in various economic activities such as farming, pastoralism, and other things. How many people are in official employment and unofficial employment, private sector, and other things of that nature.
All right, so that's where we'll leave it. Thanks very, very much indeed. We're waiting to find out just how big the country has gotten. It'll be interesting to get those figures. But thanks so much for sharing your thoughts and your insights on the program today.
Thank you.
All right, so Tanzania in the middle of a census at the moment, taking a look at the numbers, and some people say that it could reach as much as 80 million by 2035. It could happen quicker, just depending on the growth.